right. Hello, and welcome to the Joy Link,
Thank you.
where we're empowering and inspiring others to expand in joy. I'm your host, Brian, and we have the pleasure today to be joined by Mariae Smiarowska. So welcome, Maria. How are you?
Thank you, Brian. I am fantastic.
So for just a quick background on how we know each other and how Maria really links up with my joy. We met through a spiritual entrepreneurs networking event from Steve Noble, and who I highly recommend if you haven't been on the call before. That's at thesoulmatrix.com. And it's really great fun and inspiring to see what other people are out there really creating. And yeah, so we got into a breakout room, and I think it was maybe with like a couple other people, and figured out that there was really some work to do for us together. So we got on another call soon after and ended up creating a brand for her upcoming spiritual festival in Poland this August called Activate. And I feel more joy because of that work that we've done together, and just to be able to support Maria in making her festival come true. So that's how we really connect in joy. So there's a quick intro for everybody. And so Maria, how about you just tell us a little bit about yourself, just to start.
About me. I'm a Polish American actor, currently living in Poland, and I've always kind of done more experimental avant-garde sort of theater. And so right now I'm in the process of working with shamanic principles and theater and energetic principles and theater. So I'm weaving kind of the spiritual into the creative. So kind of my first foray into that was a one-woman show called Landing, which is about finding your place on Earth. Because I've lived all over the place, constantly jumping continents and so on. This because of an insatiable urge to kind of want to taste every culture, which is something I absolutely love, and kind of looking for a universal language, that thing that binds us, that common thread that binds us all. So I did a show about that, which I presented strangely online as part of the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. And now I'm leading up to a second, I think probably solo, not sure, writing and creating a second show. I don't want to talk about it just yet because it's just rising and birthing in me, which I will be presenting as part of the festival, even as a work in progress. So yeah, I do that. I sing. I lead voice and body classes. I do Reiki, etc., etc. That's me briefly. I could go on. It's a long story, but I'll stop there.
Well, yeah, that's an incredible story, and also a really great vision as well. You were talking about tasting every culture, right? I went through a big phase of that too. Just, I need to get out of this place. Like, I think I hit like 33 some odd states or something like that, right? Because I'm originally from Michigan. I was okay, well, there's more than this island here, right? Or continent. Well, what's over there, right? You got to jump the pond and start walking around. And I think it was like 30 some odd countries later. And I was like, yeah, okay, I kind of understand a little bit about what's going on. The world is a school, and the whole place is a playground. So it's important to go out and meet people and really discover, right? You were talking about that common thread, that language. That's yeah, something that we all share together. It's music and theater and arts, really, right? Yeah, if language is a bit tough for everybody because we've all got so many different languages, the arts, that brings up our emotions, and yeah, it can also lead people to joy as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So then the first question for you really is, how do you personally define joy?
How do I enjoy? You know what? I think I'll liken it to the state of flow for me. There's a wonderful book, and I can never pronounce the guy's name, which is called Flow. Mihaly CZS something. It's like Hungarian, is it? I think I don't remember. Yeah,
Yeah, he's part of the positive psychology movement.
it's an
Mihai
amazing
Csikszentmihalyi.
Yeah, it's an amazing book, and he talks about the state of happiness being the state of flow. And
Mm,
I think for me, it's that because it's like you get over any sort of self-consciousness, your kind of,
mm,
little ego self, your self-doubts, your insecurities, and you just kind of enter a state where you're flowing, where you connect into something. I'm talking about positive experiences kind of here,
right,
and you just flow, you let it take you like it's bigger than you.
right.
So yeah, so I think joy is that kind of uplifted flowing state where you're just I would say abandonment, but not in the sense of like in the sense of being able to let go, but you're still upright, like you're still present, but you've let go and you're able to really just immerse yourself in the now and what is in the present experience. So I think that,
Mm. That
yeah.
is an incredible definition, yes. And yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
And the science backs you up as well. I was recently doing some research with Julia on the science of joy, right? And it's funny because the research that's coming out, the summaries sound more like ancient wisdom philosophy than like really scientific answers. And yeah, the main difference is they're talking about happiness is from outside yourself, like you want to chase something, but joy is something that is from within. I'm like, yeah, that's correct. And you're talking about, well, there's a flow in there when we connect to ourselves and let everything else go,
Mm,
right? There's that we feel uplifted
yeah.
and uh yeah, it's really more of that connection to our deeper self, our higher self, right? A more connection to our heart really as well.
Yes, and there's a buoyancy, like you're saying, that comes with that as well, like connected
Mhm.
to the heart, but it's like you're above, you're flying, kind of like you're
Right,
very buoyant, and things
right,
that, on other days when you're maybe not in that frequency of joy are will bog you down. You have the ability to just kind of soar above them, and things, take
right,
more in your stride, and so on. So it's,
right.
yeah, buoyant, definitely, I would say.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of think of the universe is like this energy that's just we're in, right? And it's moving, right? They say that the universe is expanding. So it's important we expand along with it, right? We go with that flow. And when we're dense, it's like we're a rock and we're going to sink. And then it's still pushing against us, but we're in resistance. But when we're, like you said, um, we let go and we're just more relaxed and we're in the now, like you said, then that's when we float and
Mm.
then we're taken, right, on that ride, and we ride those waves and we're buoyant, right? It's like, uh, yeah, there's this really great image that I saw, this great meme, and it's got two images next to each other, and the one has a person like freaking out in a glass of water. Right. And the glass of water's up here and they're just freaking out. And on the other one, the person's floating on top of it.
Nice. Yeah.
Right? And it's like those two different states. I thought that was a perfect visualization there. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, that's exactly how it is. Right? Because it's just a little too deep that you can't stand, but you can always just kind of let go of everything and float. And then you're buoyant. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, what kinds of memorable moments pop up for you when you think about joy?
Is this kind of the same as what brings me joy? Because,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, well, dance. For me, dance in many forms. I did this incredible movement medicine, shamanic 24-hour dance ceremony last year, and it was bliss. It was super well
For
structured.
24 hours, just straight dancing.
12 to 12. Oh my gosh, it was like, whew, with breaks, like they structured it. We even had 2 hours to sleep, and then a storm came at 5 a.m. So we all woke up.
And just start dancing again.
Well, no, we had to move everything because we were outside, but it was incredible because it's like a form of ecstatic dance that comes from five rhythms, which is Gabrielle Roth, who was a dancer and choreographer. She came up with these kind of five major rhythms that flow through life, and then movement medicine adds the shamanic element and takes it further. So you're really
Wow.
working with intention, you're working consciously, you're working with little groups. So, you're witnessing and, it was beautifully structured. It was huge. But there is that element, you're in the ceremony for 24 hours, even if you're sleeping or sitting or,
Right.
whatever, you're still in the process. So
Right.
that was amazing because you get to this point of fatigue where you just don't have any boundaries. Like your ego doesn't care. You're sweaty. You're gross. Who cares? You're just like you kind of go into the center of your being, really, because you peel away all those layers. Yeah, and
Right.
so you're exhausted. Your feet hurt. You're sore. You can't move anymore. But the music's still going, and
Right.
you find second wind, the third wind, the fourth wind, you find a way and you find so much more. Then emotions come up and flow through you. You release things and it's just, whew, it's amazing. So that was extreme bliss and joy, definitely. Definitely.
Wow.
Another thing, tango. I dance tango and I love it. It's been
Why?
a whole process. It's a whole journey. In some ways it's extremely difficult, but it ties into to this letting go thing. So I dance as a follower. I'm not a leader. So often because I like to move and I dance myself, I have my own ideas. I'm like, this is what I'm
Right.
gonna do. And the leader's going, no, we're doing this. And so it's really hard. But when you're with like a really good dancer, I've really found that that's extremely blissful as well because you release into being led and you release and that feeling of abandonment that's it where you just go, my body knows what it's doing. I don't have to think or control in this moment. I can just go, we're listening to the music. I'm very musical, so it's like it's
Right.
important that the leader hears the music because that's part of the
Right.
dance.
Right.
And then you just let go and it's like it's complete presence in that moment because you're together with your partner and you're flowing. It's just like it everything disintegrates and becomes the music, and it's just wonderful to have that fusion with your body and your imagination and kind of all the things that arise in you, through the rhythm, through the music, and the ritual. It's like a ritual. Anywhere you go in the world, you hear the music, and you're like, it's the milonga. you
Oh,
know?
right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's a common language throughout the world. People do tango across the planet. Right.
So that's a beautiful thing. Mm.
Yeah, and there's also there's the flow that we can find with ourselves when we dance, right? It's just that letting go. Like you said, the 24 hours, you're going to break through many layers of yourself because you've committed. I'm here. Everybody else is too. And so we're doing this, right? Yeah, it's that there's the partner dance as well. And when you can share that flow with another person and find it, that's when things can really be amazing, even more amazing as well, because you're sharing that state, right? That flow state. Yeah, so I think that's incredible that you've been able to really embrace that that surrender when it comes to dance. Right, because it's like at some point, like you said, who cares what everybody else is doing or like I'm sweating, I wore the wrong shirt. Who cares? Just, feel the music, feel the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been going to ever since I moved to Europe, I've been going to music festivals, like summer music festivals and like big ones. And I would when I was younger, I'd just go by myself. It's like who cares, right? Because there's like 40,000 people there and I can just go wherever I want, right? And the music's calling me over here, and I go and dance and you just meet people everywhere. And at the end, I'm exchanging phone numbers with people. And just because we were dancing for, okay, 2 hours over here, then ran over here, met some more people. So dance is a really great way to celebrate. And and you also think of what we're doing to the ground as well. Because if there's a massive amount of people and they're all celebrating together, that's a massive amount of energy that's happening, that's going into the planet and also shooting up and out as well. It's like 300 degrees of amazing energy.
Yeah, well, we actually have chakras in the soles of our feet. So actually, as we step barefoot, on the ground, we're absorbing that energy. So from,
Right.
the crystalline grid and from the planet, we are actually doing that. So the movement medicine was all barefoot on the earth outside. So
Beautiful.
imagine that. There was what, 75 people just moving with the earth, with the
Right.
music. It was huge. The
Right.
energy was just amazing.
Right. Right. Yeah, it's the ecstatic dance that I really enjoy. We either go to the beach in the summer, and then you've got the 500 people there, or whatever, on the beach. It's DJ and the whole thing, and everybody's barefoot. Or you've got the, like, usually at certain locations where you'll get a couple hundred people, yet everybody's barefoot, and here we go, right? And then you can they actually have, in the one that I go to sometimes in Utrecht, where they just have people couple up, right? Okay, right. They're giving instructions during the time. So yeah, just find somebody you're grooving with and just, yeah, and now switch, right? And so you're meeting some people, but there's no talking, right? And so you're just really feeling things out with the other person. And it can be some really magical moments in there, right? Yeah, dance is amazing. I'm really glad we're talking about joy and dance, right?
Oh, it's
Uh,
amazing.
uh, okay, so
There's
that
more
is
if you want, 'cause I have another thing is song. So it
right.
connects to music, but song is another thing for me that just really gets my energy up is singing, but especially if you're singing in a group. Like I've done a lot of polyphonic traditional song in a cappella with other people, and it's one of the most powerful and joyous things as well. Even when you're singing like super sad songs, which is often somehow done a lot of traditional kind of like Ukrainian songs, which were very, very kind of
Right,
sad and heavy. But even in that, there's this joy of the harmony of voices, kind of which is just incredible. Even if you don't do it very well, but it's just the power of having. I usually, when I facilitate or when I've sung, it's been in circle. So you really hear and feel the vibrations of all the voices coming together.
right.
And that's just, it's just wild as well, because that's another thing that can just, you fly
Right,
on the
right.
songs, on the melodies. And then when you've got like two-part or three-part or even four-part harmonies, my goodness, it's just, you
Yeah,
know,
it just lights us up, doesn't it?
completely. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I used to be in show choir when I was in junior high and high school, and
Yeah.
then we were in like a touring. Uh, yeah, we would do some different shows around the states and things like that in high school, and go to competitions and that, right? It's like show choir. And yeah, so singing has always been something that's really, really close to me, and music as well, right? It just can take you to different states. And I was also in a barbershop quartet. That was pretty funny, right? Yeah, in high school. Yeah, and I was the bass, right? I was the bass. Yeah, when you find that harmony, because we would practice a lot. There was like four guys, and we just after school we go and hang out and then sing for an hour and right, because we're gonna do shows. And yeah, when you find that harmony, it's like there's a bliss frequency, or there's something in there that's really high, and we just know when we're in it. It's like, oh man. And then somebody's gonna there's a false note or something, like something comes out, and we're like, hey man, right? Yeah. The sound is really important, like all the vibrations of it. Yeah, it can be very uplifting when we choose the right kind of things to tune into, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, what What would you say is like some practical advice that you can give to anybody that's looking to create more joy in their life?
I think getting into your body, that's a thing, especially nowadays, as we
How,
spend so much time, in front of screens and so on.
how would they do that?
I think that, everyone has to kind of find what works for them. So I don't know, maybe yoga, go to a yoga class, try out different things. For some
Right,
people, yoga is really good because you're holding asanas, you're working with the breath, and you're kind of aligning mind and body. Dance is wonderful. I know not everyone is into that, but it's just, you don't, I mean, for some people, maybe a dance with kind of steps and techniques might work better, because they've got that kind of structured, this is what you do. And for some other
right,
people, it might be free dance, so like
right,
five dance or ecstatic dance, or, where there's no steps or anything to learn. So that is an amazing way of liberating your body, liberating yourself, because you just really, do it in your room, put on some music, dance for 10 minutes. Just don't, close the windows, close the curtains, just, for yourself, just do that and just find your own body, find your own way of moving and what works for you. And it releases so much. So just to do that as a practice or a little meditation, that's something anyone can do in
right,
their space.
right.
Other thing, I'm really getting into vagus nerve work, which I'm kind of incorporating into my voice work as well.
Ah,
Vagal nerve, it's a cranial nerve. People can research it if it want,
right,
and it helps with concentration, kind of trauma release, helps with anxiety, overwhelm. It's a really good, and you can find simple things like the Daily Om has the vagus nerve miracle course that people can get. Sorry, I don't mean to be problem, but it's got some good stuff on
the
there.
daily om. Yes,
and and so that's a really good way. So one thing you can do is humming as well, which is simple like droning, and that
right,
actually stimulates the vagal nerve, vagus nerve, whatever,
right,
and it can really shift you out of it. So just sitting and or walking or whatever, just humming one sound, just you're stimulating all this. You're stimulating the vagal nerve. You're vibrating within yourself. You're loosening tensions. And it can be like a form of meditation. If you're focusing
mm,
on that, you're not going into monkey mind and things like that.
right,
And it can lift you up as well to joy. So, and then maybe you'll start humming a ditty, whatever. And
right,
so there's, I don't know, simple things, I think it's the simpler the better. For me, I find like if things are too complex, I'm not going to really go there and do that. But if it's simple,
right, right.
um,
That
and
is that is
yeah,
great advice.
you're looking.
That is amazing advice. Yes. Wow. I agree with everything you said there about getting into your body and dancing and the vagal nerve and the humming as well. I find in the process of learning as you live, I used to not have a lot of movement, right? Because I'd be a designer and I'd sit there for 10, 15 hours, right? 12, 15 hours. And I just have food next to my desk because, right? It's like if I'm hungry, I just feed the body because I want to keep working. So I wasn't moving, very sedentary. As you get older, you can't keep that up. It's like the body's going to start demanding things, and then there's going to be more dis-ease in the body, and then we got to get back to ease. So yeah, one of the things I used to do that brought me tons of joy that is dance related is the first thing that I would do when I wake up is instead of having an alarm, which is like which is proven to cause anxiety in the body, right? Because it's like that sound is connected with like emergencies and like it's an alarm, right? Oh, right. You wake up to that. So I did the opposite, and I was playing my favorite song that I love to dance to. Like first thing, that was the alarm, right? And it was my favorite song. So I wake up and I hear the song. And I'm like, oh yeah. And so I'd get up and I'd jump out of bed and just dance the whole song. And I did that for I think about 3, 4 months straight. Just talk about starting your day right? You're just getting so much energy just from dancing right there at the first thing in the morning, right? And then the humming, it can be so simple, right? But it can release so many things, right? We were talking about the music and how important that is and what kind of vibrations. And the words we speak, those are also vibrations, right? And yet when we hum, it can activate the pineal gland as well. And yeah, in some of the meditation certification classes that I had done, we're doing pranayama breathing techniques, and one of them is called the hummingbird. And so we would, right, just plug our ears and then just hum. What is it, like 20 times? Let's go, right? And it's just, I think it's 4 seconds in breath, and then as long as you can hum on the way out. And then right, just right, it's tuning into it's like a mantra,
Yeah.
really, right? And it can be so simple. There's no words, and it's just I'm humming, and everything is just relaxing, and nothing can get as stuck like energetically on you because you're humming, and things just kind of shake and fall away, and then you feel better. So yeah, that is incredible advice. Incredible advice. Okay, well, definitely thanks for your time today, Maria. I found it to be incredibly joyful and practical, and it was lovely to see your experience with joy as well. So, if anybody would want to connect with you, where can they find you?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram at the moment. I can give you my links. And
Yeah,
one day we'll have a website in the future, but yeah, for the
right.
moment. So yeah.
And we'll be sure to post that link to the Activate Festival as well.
Yeah.
And when is the date and the
So
information on that?
16th to the 18th of August.
Right. And anything you want to tell us about that festival?
It's going to be a joyful experience for sure. I've got a bunch of wonderful facilitators. So there's going to be Tai Chi, there'll be meditation, there'll be yoga. We're going to actually have ecstatic dance as well. There'll be a drum circle. I'll be doing voice and song work. There'll be a couple performances as well in nature, which I think will be really, really special. And I've got someone who's doing a labyrinth meditation, who's bringing a labyrinth of Chartres, the cathedral in Chartres, and we're going to do
Wow.
kind of a meditation through that. So it's very exciting. I think there's going to be a lot of really, really special kind of processes to
Right.
experience and to be in and right in nature as well. So yes, anyone who kind of resonates with that is very welcome to come.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. And a whole weekend of
Yeah,
that as well. So you can really immerse yourself and really get into all those high vibes, really.
absolutely. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Fantastic. Well, yeah, thanks so much. Thanks so much for your time and coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having
Uh,
me.
right. It was really great to connect again and learning more about the how you connect to joy, right? And I can't wait to see how the Activate Festival takes off.
Yes, me too. Thanks very
Well,
much
yeah,
for having me, Brian.
yeah, yeah, you too. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Right. Ciao. Enjoy.